Well, Lee is not with us, so we probably should get going.
Okay,
We do the easy one first. We can do the minutes. How are we for the minutes?
they were good on my end, Dick.
They were for me too, Colleen. So Lee not being here, just make a note that Bill and I both approved it. They go over the thing. We've only got one septic system. I'll go over it. This one is Jeff LeBeau. It's the Sambursky lot. That was a LaFlamme lot on East Street. It's a 3-bedroom house. It's a complete system. It's a new system. The fees paid. The review is complete now. It's a large lot. It's cleared, deep sands, slopes down towards the west. It's a pork chop lot with a long driveway and it opens up in the back. 36-inch water table. There are also wetlands to the south and the west. The issues that there were on this one is there's only one observation hole in the SAS. The other one is to the south out of the system. The high water table and this SAS tucked right into the southern boundary of the lot and the wetlands. The design for this one is a 1,500 gallon 2-compartment tank with an outlet filter. There is an issue in that the connection from the 2 sections of that tank are not to code, or were not to code when I talked to Jeff. There'll be risers as needed. What he's got is 3 quick 4 plus. They're an alternate system trenches. There are 8 chambers that are 3 feet by 4 feet on each one of the 3 trenches. They're not vented. He's got 494 gallons a day capacity, or 668 square feet that are provided versus 440 required, or 595 square feet. The reserve is in between the trenches, although Jeff did not include the space to the west of the last trench that was able to fit in the 3rd reserve line. It's 5-foot water table separation. It's a fill system. There is a 48-inch wall to the north of the system. That's 23 feet from the SAS. There's no ballast required. The SAS and septic tank separation to the wells and the wetlands are greater than 100 feet. The issues that wanted to talk about would be the need for the proper vent in between the 2 sections of the tank. Talked about the need for a 40 mil barrier at the wall. That additional fill that was required at the west end to put the 3rd SAS line on the reserve, and the requirement for an additional deep hole in the western area of the SAS at installation. This one would require fill, and it would require a trench permit. And my thoughts were, when I talked to Jeff is going to put a regulation vent, the U vent from the one section of the tank to the other. He is going to do that. He was going to try to get it to us that tonight, but I think that didn't happen.
Yeah,
When
excuse me, Dick.
The need for the, yeah.
No, excuse me, Dick. So did he specify a upside down U-tube between the 2 sections? Is that what he specified?
Yeah, he ended up not having a way that one section of the tank could vent through to the other. What he had is his horizontal section of that H was down below the liquid level. so
Yeah,
that there was no way that the two tops of the tank were open, of the H were open, but no way for the gas to get through it. So he's moving that horizontal section of the H up at the level, the top level in the tank to allow water to go through it and air to go through it. So he's going to
I see.
change that.
Okay. Okay. So the way he's got it set up, it's kind of like a siphon then.
Yeah, it's a, but he's got it broken up at the top, and so he can't really siphon through, but he can't. There's no way for the air to go as you put liquid through that tank, and that level goes up and down. Code clearly says that system's got to be vented all the way back from
Yeah, yeah.
the SAS all the way back to the house.
Yeah. You know, I'm curious why they don't drill the hole between the two compartments at the water line. If you drill the hole at the middle of the water line and you put your back-to-back T's in, it automatically allows the gases to go through.
If the hole has to be somehow, there's got to be something above the liquid level in the tank.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, the problem is if they put the hole too low, then you got to drill another hole for the air. But if you put the hole at the right location, you only need one hole.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But he didn't have it that way. So he's going to fix it.
Okay.
When I did the calculation for the barrier, there is no reason for a barrier with this system. Jeff did say he was going to move. He's got 5 feet on the edge from the last trench to the west to the edge of the edge of the fill. He's going to add another 4 feet there so that from the edge of the last trench to the end of the fill will be 9 feet. So he'll have space to put that reserve line in there.
Good.
And he did agree at the time. Ordinarily, I'd be concerned with not knowing what that soil's like, Bill, in there and not having a hole, the second hole in there. But that soil in that area is all very, very consistent. So I saw no problem with just putting a requirement that when they go in to do the installation, they dig the deep hole just to verify that the soil is the same. But
it's fine.
Those were my thoughts on this system. What are you thinking?
No, I'm in line with you, Dick. The 23-foot spacing, no barrier required. Again, we're discussing that issue with the area for the reserve. Makes good sense. And again, if they elect to add a bedroom or two down the line, they'll have the luxury of the fill in place. They can simply add another line tied into the D-box. So it gives them a lot of flexibility going forward. And again, the issue with the venting, that's a peculiar thing on some of these tanks. What tank did he specify? Did he specify a underground tank or an aero tank, or did he not?
He did. He did not. He just specified a Massachusetts approved tank. So he didn't specify any of the tanks.
If he went on one of the vendors' websites, sometimes they have cut sheets for these tanks, and they do accommodate that issue, that gas transfer issue between compartments. So it would have been a good idea for him to have done that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure why he didn't do it. I think when I talked to him about the tank, I said, Jeff, you could have got rid of this whole problem. As much as I like the 2 compartment tanks, if you just put a 1 compartment tank in there, this whole thing would go away. And he said that the owner is the one that specified a 2 compartment tank with a filter.
Okay.
So,
okay. That's
Lee,
fine.
are you in? Are you on now?
I am.
Okay.
Hey, Lee.
So we're just going over So Colleen, what we're going to do is we're going to we're gonna specify this one, it's gonna be our fill regulations and the trench permit required. However, on this design, we're gonna require the installation, the modification of the connection between the two tanks to be a Massachusetts, a DEP approved connection with a vent between that vents the two sections. No need for a barrier between the wall and the SAS. We're going to require additional fill, an additional 4 feet of fill at the west end of the SAS to allow the installation of the reserve, of that third reserve line. And we're going to require an additional deep hole in the western area of the SAS at the time of installation to verify that the soil is consistent in that area of the SAS.
Okay.
Okay, while waiting for Jeff, I guess we could start on, and Lee, we did approve the minutes for the 16th. I've got 2 timesheets for Colleen, one for November 19th for 70 hours, and then one for December 3rd for 70 hours. Are we okay with that one?
Yes.
Bill, are you set with that? I don't know
Okay.
if I'm. Bill, did you say you're okay with that?
Oh, his voice is off. You're muted, Bill.
Yep, okay, I'm good, Dick, thank you.
Okay, so Colleen, the 3 of us have approved that. The next one
Okay.
is the payments totaling $3,220. That comprised of 990 Board of Health permits, 1,480 for licenses, $750 for fees. That's it, totaling the $3,220. Are we okay with that?
Yes, I'm good.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, I am too, Colleen, so that's approved.
Okay.
Jeff, is that you?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Hi, is that
We're
Bill?
done with you, Jeff.
Oh my gosh, already?
So that's the benefit of the review. What we did is we approved your design, subject to the changing the vent between the 2 sections of the tank to comply with Title V.
Yeah, like we talked about
did
this
do
morning.
Yeah, we did do the calculation. I did the calculation and Bill went over it with me. There is no need for a barrier between the system and the tank. So that's,
Okay.
and the SAS.
I had
we
that
do-
feeling. Great.
Yeah,
Thank you for
you
confirming.
do have to add the additional 4 feet on the west edge of sand of fill to allow the third reserve trench to go in, as we talked about.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
that'll go to 9 feet instead of 5 feet. And we
okay.
are going to require an additional deep hole in the western area of the SAS at the time of the installation, just to verify that the soil is the same.
I agree with that. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That way we confirm it and kind of lock it in. You know, we shoehorn it on both ends, make sure it's not inconsistent in between.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
So we're
Okay,
done with
great.
you.
So, well, thank you guys. I would have joined a little bit earlier. I thought it was going to be 7:15 sharp. So I didn't know how this
Well-
board ran. So thank
Well,
you for,
well, that's okay. What we typically do is I give a report before everything starts so that we discuss things and kind of hammer things out before the engineer gets involved, and we normally can end up exactly like this ended up.
that's perfect then. So I really appreciate your review time. I know it was a little challenging early on, but I think we have a good design here for Devin. One question he had related to Board of Health permits. He was wondering, he has his well driller that's going to be leaving the state in a couple weeks. He was hoping if this went okay, which it sounds like it will, I think he already applied separately, not from me, a well.
Yeah, there's a well permit app, Dick. I see it at 9:09 a.m. It came
Okay.
through.
Is he going to be
Yeah, why
allowed
don't
to
we-
have that approved as well, or?
We're gonna do it right now, so while you're on here, we'll take it out of order, and
Okay,
we've got a well permit, Lee, that for this lot, and the permit actually uses the design that we just approved, and it's got ties to the well, and he's 100 feet from everything here. So are we okay, Lee and Bill? I'm okay with this well permit.
Yeah, I'm going to add one comment for Jeff. Jeff, between conservation and Board of Health, I don't know how many hours you put in on this, but you did a nice job. Did you put in over 50 hours on this project?
no, not over 50, but definitely a lot.
Yeah,
And,
boy.
You know, again, because I was, because I'm moonlighting it, with my full-time work and helping Devin.
Right.
It's probably over 40 for sure.
Boy, but that nice comprehensive plan, you did a nice job. Congratulations.
It's a
I
Beautiful
appreciate
it's a
looking
it.
nice job.
Okay, so if I
So what happens here, Jeff, is that.
No, you just froze, Jeff. We missed your comment, Jeff. You just froze on that. What'd you say?
I said, so if I design other septics for clients in town, now we'll know each other and it should go a lot smoother in the beginning.
It will.
The curve will drop. The curve will drop sharply.
Absolutely.
So
No, it's
unfortunately,
been great.
yeah, unfortunately, you ran into me.
No problem. Listen, Dick, your comments forced me to reread Title V a bit, so I'm okay with that.
So what happens here is because we're meeting remotely, by approving it the way we did, both the design and the well permit, Colleen will sign. So tomorrow, those things will be signed.
Excellent. I'll get you the first thing in the morning. You'll have the revised plans as we discussed.
Okay. Okay, have a good
Thank
night.
you very much.
Have a good Christmas.
Hey,
Okay.
you too. Merry Christmas.
Jeff,
Bill,
all
great
the
seeing
best.
you again.
And listen, Jeff,
Pleasure.
when it comes time to put in solar for Devon, let me know. We'll talk about the solar. Hey, listen,
I
by the
know.
way, Dick, did you get your Mass Electric bill?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
It was. In fact, I got another thing that's sitting here that says somebody will guarantee me $179 a month for electricity for the next year. And I may end up taking that.
All I know is I've had a bunch of phone calls because I've been researching this, and their generation went from 11 cents a kilowatt hour to 33. And if you add on the 15 for distribution, transmission, and the other ancillary charges, the total rate is 48 cents a kilowatt hour. It's unheard of. That's an unheard of number, Dick.
I know.
And you're right. People are scrambling, either putting in solar or going with this Constellation Energy or one of these other third-party generation vendors that are out there. But Granby's not looking too good right now on the electric end.
Yeah, my problem is everything to my south is trees and I don't own them. So I can't put solar.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
You know, the other thing is, when I was on the energy group with Jay Joyce years ago, we had the opportunity to join one of these large scale solars in town on a purchase agreement, and we opted not to do it. And it's too darn bad. We should have entertained that
yeah, for
our
sure.
purchase agreement, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll be in touch with you, Bill, in the future, because solar is definitely a passion of mine and has been. So, and I saw your website. I checked out your website, and I see you're also a bit of an entrepreneur and inventor. So we have that in common as well.
Okay,
Sounds good.
we're not gonna
Anyway,
do business here on this
no,
meeting.
I know. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
Have
All
a
the
great
best.
Okay,
Merry
have a good
Christmas.
night.
All the best.
Okay.
Yep, bye-bye.
Okay. My next one is bills payable, and I have Tom Fleabot for two things that he's got 63 inspections for $1,260 and 190 miles for $76, totaling $1,336. Are we okay with that?
Dick, just a question. So Tom Fleabot, he's been animal inspector since I was on the Board of Health the last time.
Really?
Yeah,
We want to
because
keep them.
I know, because before Tom, it was Giles DeWitt. Remember Giles?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Tom became animal inspector. It must have been in the mid-90s. Wow. Now I'm just
So,
curious.
As long
So-
as he,
I was going to say, Dick, so he does all the barns and all the animal inspections in town?
that what?
No, he does all our animal inspections currently?
Yeah, he does them, and he actually does them and keeps up. We don't have to, when we used to get those nasty calls for the farm books and stuff, that we don't get
I
those
remember
anymore.
that. I remember that. And I remember we were supposed to get $10 per horse per year.
Yeah.
Is that law off the books, or is that still valid?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. There used to be, I remember some really obscure law from the 1800s,
Yeah,
but we're supposed to charge each owner of a horse $10 per head per year or something.
yeah,
That was, maybe that's
yeah.
passé.
Remember, that's why they didn't want to turn in the animal, the
That's
farm
right.
books, because
that's
they were
exactly-
afraid the assessors would get it and
That's right. That's
tax them on
exactly right. I
their
remember that.
herds.
I remember that. Oh, that's funny.
So anyways, okay, then are we okay with Tom's bill?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay,
And Bill, you said you are too?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. We've got, Joe Alves is here. He's got an appointment at 7:25. And, this is American Concrete. Joe, are you there?
Yes,
This is Joe. Do you go by Joe or Jose?
Joe.
Okay, Joe. This is a normal interview that we have for all new installers, and just to try to get an understanding of you and your abilities. And are you installing systems in any other town?
Yes, we're licensed in multiple towns in the surrounding areas.
What towns, for instance?
Ludlow, Wilbraham, Palmer. And
Okay.
I just I don't necessarily update them every year unless I get a job. So as soon as I get a job, I either renew them or apply for new ones.
How long have you been doing this?
It's all I've ever done. My father started the business 25 years ago, and I've just worked for him ever since, so.
Yeah. Are you the one that actually is in charge of the individual jobs, or do you have foremen? Or
No, we're just a small outfit. We personally do the work ourselves.
you do? What kind of equipment do you have?
We have large equipment, mini excavators, bobcats, dozers, loaders. We do a lot of large projects as well as site work and stuff as well.
Okay, what do you use to shoot grades?
I got a laser.
My my connection isn't very good right now, so I missed that. Joe, what did
Yeah,
you say what did
we
you
got
use to shoot grades?
We got multiple rotary lasers.
Oh, okay, okay. I've a question for you, and I ask this to everybody. If you're on a job, you got a drawing, and you start digging, and you find out what's in the ground isn't what's on the drawing, what do you do?
I'd be contacting either the engineer or you.
Right answer, Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So one of
Joe,
my-
I'm curious, Bill Shaheen here. Are you the Alves that used to do a lot of work for Paul Zubik for Ludlow DPW? Or is that another Alves?
No, that's another Joe Alves, that also used to do a lot of septics, and he also owned a fuel company.
Okay. That's a
Yep.
different Joe Alves. And okay.
My first septics, I actually did them under him. We worked together on.
Okay.
We do a little bit of everything.
Lee,
We
you
do,
have any questions?
No, I think we're good. He nailed the answer about the soils. He seems to have a lot of experience, family business, so he's done everything, I'm sure, and more than he wants to talk about. But I'm sure. Well, I guess the other question is, applying for a license at this time of the year, is there a pending job, or should we hold off until January? You know what I mean?
So the issue we have here is, this is a new homeowner that built this house on School Street. We did all the site work there for him. We also do foundations. We did all that work. It's framed now. I thought this job would have been held off until springtime for the septic system. He's got it in his head that he thinks he should be moving in February. That's why he's kind of pushing to have it done. I understand that I'd be paying the fee for now and then have to renew it in January. But we're willing to
Yeah,
do that.
I'm just trying to save you some money here. If
Yeah.
it's not going to get done, you know what I mean? Because there's only a couple of weeks left of work time. But
Right.
whatever you want to do, it's up to
So
you.
it'll be up to you. It'll be up to you, Joe, if you're gonna do the work before the end of the year, then you need to pay for this year. If not, then hold off and pay Colleen, after the first of the year, but that's up to you.
Yeah, what is it? It's $100 for the license?
Yes.
Yeah, we would go ahead and just do it just to keep the customer happy and keep things rolling.
Okay. I'm okay with Joe. Bill and Lee, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I approve. No problem.
I'm good here. Thank you.
Okay, so we're all set.
So I just have
We approved.
one question for you guys. Do you require an inspection of the bottom of the hole before we proceed with the system?
Yes, the subgrade is
We-
required.
It is, okay.
Who's the engineer in this job?
This looks like it was done by Heritage.
No, well, that's the surveyor. Who did the civil engineering for the septic system?
Unfortunately, the drawing that I'm looking at is just a small drawing, so I'm trying to see the stamps here, but I can't make it out.
You
Yeah,
better
well, we better,
have
we
a better
better
drawing
iron
than that
that
to
out.
sell that system.
Better
No,
iron that one
no,
out.
I'm gonna print out a full set, but I'm just looking at it on my phone now, that's why.
Okay. What's the
Wow,
address,
what-
Joe?
So it's an estate lot. It's in between 145 and 147.
School?
Oh, is in the back, right? In between.
Yeah, it's for a
Yeah.
gentleman, Matt Walker.
Oh,
This
okay.
is-
Yeah,
this
they
is
came before
way-
conservation. They came before conservation about 6 months ago.
This is, I think it was an Eddie Shilosky property, and it's up on the top of the hill. What is it, a half a mile back in?
Yeah,
It's
one-
in between Dennis Smith's house and
Oh, I know, this is the other side of the road. This
I believe so.
is the,
Yeah, I
this
got
is
a
all
Michael-
sand.
I got a Michael Pullen and Gloria Smith on either side.
Yeah,
Yep,
this
that's
is,
that
this is
lot
on
going
the
back.
east side.
Yeah, it's all beautiful sand material.
Yeah,
There was a high water table. That's why the foundation and stuff was a pretty raised system. So
yeah.
Okay, that I'm pretty sure
But
the
that
well
dr-
is
that
already
drawing-
in place.
Yeah, so you need a trench permit on that drawing. It should say you need a trench permit, and we have to do a strip inspection.
a what?
subgrade inspection.
Okay, yeah, that's not a problem.
So Joe,
Just
do you
don't-
have a physical large format paper copy of the plan that's readable?
We're having one printed out tomorrow. I actually just forwarded the email to my secretary to have her printed out tomorrow. So
It actually bothers me that I'm not going to take back my approval of this. But it bothers me that we're talking about a system and you're asking questions that are on the drawing that we take a lot of time to make sure this stuff is on the drawings, and you don't have the drawings and you don't know those rules, and you're asking us about the rules that are on that drawing. And that tells me if we want to get in trouble, you're well along on a path to get in trouble.
no, I just like to ask the question ahead of time because we ran into this in Palmer where they wanted a subgrade inspection where certain towns don't require that. So I just want to, verify it before we get into that situation.
You
Okay.
should read that
And the-
drawing because it's on that drawing.
Okay.
Yeah, so the subgrade should be performed by one of us three, as well as the engineer on record, prior to, any fill being brought in, but in that case, I'm not sure if there will be any because of the sand that are there.
What do you require for inspection time? From a call to before we get an inspection?
Same day. Well, I can't speak for Dick and Bill. If I get the call, it's gonna happen that day.
Okay.
But I can't speak for the engineer or again for Dick or for Bill if they happen to take it. It's everybody gets their hands dirty on this board, so it's gonna happen quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, then we should be We should be set with you then, Joe.
All right, I
When-
appreciate,
Yeah, I'm just curious, one more thing. When was the septic plan approved, Joe, for this project? Do you know?
Bill, I think it would have been in the last year.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, because again, he came before conservation about 6 months ago. So I'm guessing it's in that same time window.
It
Okay,
should have been, yeah.
yeah, all right, okay, I'm done.
Okay, then have a good night, Bill.
all right, thank you very
Take
much.
care, Joe. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
My next one that I have is a well permit for lot 3 on Morgan Street. That one. Colleen, I think this is a Caffarelli design. Is this an approved septic system design, do you know?
Yes, that was approved in May of this year for the septic design.
Okay. And so this one is just to install the well according to that design that we approved. So I don't have a problem with that. Bill, Lee, what are your thoughts?
Should be pretty clean over there since it's all new construction. Everybody should be adhering to the same, obviously site criteria. Wells up front, septic's back, or however it's laid out, but it should not be an
Yeah.
issue.
Yep, yeah, I'm looking at the plan right now. It's got it looks like an estate lot. And heading west from Morgan Street, the well seems to be a couple of 100 feet out in the field, and it's fairly close to the property line. And the leach field is on the other side of the house, plenty of clearance.
Yeah, this shouldn't be a problem.
It shouldn't be none. As long as he gets the well in his own property, he's good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm okay with this. Bill, Lee, are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay,
Colleen, and we've approved that.
okay.
The next one looks like just a tank replacement on 5 Harris Street. Lee, are we okay with this one?
I got a call from Alan Weiss.
No, this one is John Kopinski. But Nick Toretti, it must have been as a result of a Title V, I'm guessing.
Alan Weiss called I think last Friday with Jeff Lucier on site. That's the last I've heard about that piece of property.
Huh,
I'm looking at the paperwork on this one, Dick. It's Kopinski,
yeah,
and Nick Toretti's involved.
yeah.
So I don't know why Al would be involved. It's another one, 2-compartment tank,
Unless
Dick.
the homeowner went outside looking for a quotation. But I'm 99% sure that property Alan Weiss called me about with Jeff was in fact 5 Harris.
Number 5 Harris, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
But again,
Dick, this is another one. They're putting a 2-compartment tank in.
Yeah,
there's something about the tank and distribution box were badly deteriorated. And they were going to replace, but I don't know at this point. I haven't gotten a second phone call from either Alan Weiss or John Kopinski, so I really don't know who's working over there.
huh. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. what, what do we do with this one? Hold up on the approval until Lee sees it and then let Lee approve this?
Yes, yeah, yeah. It's funny, the way this is written, it says, "Hi, Colleen, I'll be inspecting the final installation and providing a stamped signature on the COC for a septic tank replacement." And then it says, "Found during an emergency pumping at the subject address." Now, what does that mean? Found during an emergency pumping?
So maybe it's not a Title V, maybe maybe he had a plug system and they,
Well,
they
maybe
said,
the
"Oh,
top
get
of
in
the,
and pump it."
maybe
They
the top
pumped
of the
it.
tank. Yeah, the top of the tank may have collapsed or something, Dick, on this one.
Yeah. But I think the right way to do it is to get some of our eyes on site, and we not stop them from doing the job, but make sure that Lee gets a chance to look at it before it's approved.
Okay,
I can take a run over there, tomorrow morning and see if any work is, in fact been started. I don't know how else to do it. Or I could call Toretti and Ludlow and ask them before I even leave the house to see if they're doing the job. Why don't
Yeah.
I do that? I'll call.
Okay, so Colleen, we won't approve this unless Lee says that everything's okay and it should be approved. So we're leaving it that you can approve it if Lee says that it's okay. Is that
Okay.
Bill and Lee? That's what
yeah,
we said, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
so that's
call
what we're gonna
Colleen
do.
after I speak to that office. I'll give Colleen a quick call in the morning, and then we'll know what direction we're heading in.
Okay.
Okay. I've got the next one I have is a sign off on Lot 6 Carver Street, and this one looks like it was high in iron and sodium, and those are only advisories for water. And there's a note from Chris Campbell saying he can fix it anyways. And it looks, I think we've already approved the septic, and now the well is in, so we're just looking for an approval, Colleen, on this? Sign
Yes,
off
he'd
on,
like on that paperwork, yes. Mhm.
are we, Lee and Bill, are we okay signing off on this?
I think so. That's fine. That's one of Alan
I
Catone's
do
new
too.
houses. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I'm
should be
okay
fine
with
on
that, Lee. Okay,
Yeah,
Colleen,
because
so that's approved.
those
Okay.
two numbers are treatable, I'm sure, from the well
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. The next one that I have is Haber Brothers, disposal works installers permit renewal. Are we okay with this?
Yeah,
I am.
yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they actually just put in an Elgin system over on Phillips Circle. They did a nice job. Lee, you
Really?
inspected that, didn't you?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, you're right, Phil. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
They did a fine job.
Oh, Lee, you're okay with this too?
Yes, I am, thank you.
Okay, Colleen, that's approved by all of us. Next
Okay.
one, there's actually 4 here. It's Dunkin' Donuts. We had a food establishment, milk and cream, frozen dessert and ice cream, and retail food. Are we okay with all 4 of those? I am.
Yes.
And you, Bill?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Colleen, so that's, all of those are approved. We've
Okay.
got council on aging, food establishment. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Yes, that's fine.
And I am too, Colleen, so that's approved. The
Okay.
next one, food establishment again for American Legion. Are we okay with that? I
That's
am.
fine. That's fine. Hey, Dick, by the way, did they ever put in their ventilation system for COVID or did that just
No,
kind of,
not that I,
really? Okay.
yeah, it died with our regulation saying they had to do it with the COVID stuff and it just never happened. They didn't need
Yeah.
it because our regulation changed.
Yeah.
So Lee, did you say yes to this too, Lee?
Yes, I did. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. They're good. They're good.
Okay, so Colleen, this is approved by the three of us.
Okay.
This is, Russo, the two of them is tobacco and food. Are we okay with these two?
Yes.
Yes.
I am.
Okay.
Lee, I didn't hear from,
Oh, I'm
did you
good.
say yes
Thank you.
too? Okay,
Yep.
Colleen, so that's the three of us.
Okay.
The next one is, two for Granby Grain is retail food and milk and cream. Are we good with this? With these
Yes.
two?
Yep, that's fine.
I am too, Colleen, on the two of those.
Okay.
The next one, two again, something special for food establishment and also a food establishment for catering. So one is over 20, under 25 seats, and the other is catering. Are we
That's
okay
fine.
with these two?
Yep, fine for me.
Yes.
Me,
Yeah.
me
all
too,
good, thank you.
Colleen, so those two are approved.
Okay.
Next one, also two of them for Cindy's Drive-In, food establishment and frozen desserts and ice cream. Are we okay with those two?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I am too. Lee? Okay, so
Yes.
that's approved, all three.
Okay.
Next one, two again. This one is Carl site work and one of them for an installer's permit and the other one, looks like I've duplicated. Is this supposed to be two, Colleen, or did I run it twice? It looks like I ran it twice. Is it only one or is there two here for Carl's?
One installer's license
An
and then,
installer and a
and a
a
hauler,
haulers.
One's a haulers.
two form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just duplicated one of them. So it's two permits. One is for a hauler and one's an installer. Are we okay with that? With both of those?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
Colleen, all three of us said yes.
Okay.
Uh, next one is Fletcher Sewer and Drain. This is a hauler and this is a renewal. Are we okay? I'm okay with this one.
Yep, I'm
Sure.
good.
Lee?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, all of us are good with that, Colleen. The next one is, I'm not sure about this one. Is Steve Minkler. This is cattle and cornbread catering. Do we know anything about this one, or do we want this one subject to Lynn's inspection, or what? Help me with this one. Colleen, is this a renewal?
No, it isn't. It's new. So he hasn't had this before, so I would think you would want Lynn to go look at his, mobile truck and see what he's got there.
Bill and Lee, what do you think?
I agree
Approve
with
it,
what
subject
Colleen's saying. Yeah, have Lynn take a
To
look
Lynn's
at it.
inspection? Lee?
Mhm.
Absolutely, especially on a new app. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
looking
so-
at what he's serving, Dick. He's serving coleslaw, mayonnaise. So there's some potentially hazardous foods that he's serving. So it's probably a good idea to send her down there.
Okay, so Colleen, we're gonna approve this subject to Lynn's passing it first.
Yes, okay.
So you don't sign off on it until Lynn signs off on it.
I'll-
Okay,
Yeah,
next
I send
one.
it,
Okay, this is,
issue it once she's done the inspection. Usually I'll sign it, I'll send it to her, but she hangs on to it until they pass her inspection.
okay, okay. This one is Jose Alves, so this is Joel's, that's what we just approved.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
for the
American.
So we're all
20
set, we already,
American Concrete, right? Yeah.
yeah,
So he wants the 2022, not, I mean, I had done up one for
Right.
2023. He wants the 2022.
okay, that's right, so this is 20. That, you know, as long as we're doing this to avoid, if he's working on this and carries over, can we, Lee and Bill, can we approve right now the 22 and the 23 that allows Colleen to sign off when he pays the fee for the 23 in the event that he gets, you know, the job halfway done and he wants to keep working over, but we're not meeting? Can we do that, Lee and Bill?
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Keep it going that
Okay,
way.
I am too, Colleen.
Okay,
So that lets you in a spot that you can approve the 2023 when it comes in.
Okay.
The next ones that I have, can we do 197 Bachelor Street, Nick Toretti passes? Lee, are we set with that?
Yes.
So, Bill, are you set that we'll receive that one?
Yes. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, me too, Colleen. Let's do the bunch of these, that's 111, 113, 115, 117, 119, 121, 123 West Street is Neil Jackson with all passing. Can we approve those all together?
Yes.
I'm okay with it. Bill, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so those are all approved. Next one is 611 Amherst Road. Neil Jackson passes it. Lee, how are we with that one?
Yep, that should be fine.
Yeah. Where is that house? Where is that house, Lee?
That's just below, it's in the area of Greystone as you're in that.
Oh, it
flat
is
just
below,
before
it
you-
is below Greystone.
Okay,
Is it tied into the Greystone system or no?
No,
Oh, it's a separate system. Okay. Okay.
it's one of the.
so are you
houses
okay with
back-
that, Bill?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
They didn't want to be
I
tied
am-
in back in the.
Okay, so I'm okay with that one too. So Colleen, that's done. We can receive that. The next one is, again, is a group, as 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 Greystone. Neil Jackson all passes. Can we receive all of those, Bill and Lee?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine.
And I am too, Colleen, so we do that.
okay.
The next item that I have is, this one is from the planning board. This is for the Brooks Real Estate building, do we have any issues for, let me see what they're calling it, Kim's Pet Resort? They've got a well now, they've got a septic system that I don't have any issues with this bill, and Bill, this may have been before you were elected, huh?
I remember, Dick, I remember they put a new system in maybe 20, 25 years ago, and it's got a big block retaining wall holding up the fill.
That's on the other little one that used to be whatever they called that, the Nook or something.
This is actually, this is Brooks's, this is the real estate building. Okay. I remember Greg doing some site work there last summer. So
Right.
did he put a new leach field in there?
Yeah, he put a new leach field. I think there's a pump, and I can't remember if
Oh, that's right. I remember
I think it's a
seeing
pump.
him put a pump system in there. Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's a brand new system then. That's
Brand
fine.
new. It's never been used, and
Okay.
they put in two wells. One they put in the wrong place, and they abandoned it. Put a new one in a little ways away.
And what sort of business is going in there?
It's pet grooming.
Oh, so pet grooming. Are they going to put a grease trap in or some sort of something for the pet hair?
Apparently not. Apparently they're set up. It's the way they talk to me is that they were just doing all that water just stays on a table. Obviously, it gets into a septic system somehow.
Yeah. But like you say, Dick, I'd hate to have them foul that brand new system with pet hair.
Yeah. But they were very warned that they
Okay.
should be careful with this. It's a minimum size system.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the design right now. So did they buy the building outright from Brooksy?
Yes, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay. Well, it's their kettle of fish. If they ruin the system, it's their pocketbook. Okay.
So I think, Lee, that what do we just have Colleen send a thing to the planning board saying we don't have any issues?
That's yeah, we beat this up a lot during the design phase, I remember. And as far as I can tell, we got as much as we can get out of it.
Yeah.
Even though we have, which Bill raised appropriately, some reservations about the hair and water usage issue. But they claim that they've got this thing under control. I hope they're right.
Yeah. Bill, to the point that I talked to both Kevin and the new owner several times, and also the engineer, and saying, you're going in here, you're only putting in whatever it was, a 204 square foot system or something, really little. And we said, this is the time, if you're going to be trying to put a bigger system, it doesn't cost very much more money to put a little more system in here. Now, after you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and they all said, nope, we know what we're doing, and that's what we want. And they so,
Lee, did they put an effluent filter on the tank?
I think they did, because I think you have
They
to.
did.
And I hope they put one of the bigger effluent filters, because man, if they're grooming cats and dogs, that's going to get filled up frequently.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in a way to see what the survivability of that system is going to be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I hope these guys really are prudent in their determination to minimize what goes down the drain in that location.
Yeah. Well,
But they
does
were-
pet hair typically float or does it sink, Dick? Is it neutrally buoyant or does it float?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know. But if it makes it through there,
They're gonna,
that's
again.
for
that's-
sure that I think, I'm not positive, but I think it's a 2-compartment tank with an effluent filter. I know it's an effluent filter, but with the 2-compartment tank and the filter, they're probably gonna be okay. The filter's gonna catch it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Depending on which type filter they put in, but that's the smart thing. And they're probably gonna have to clean that filter frequently, but that's a safeguard. That's gonna protect their system. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Okay.
So Colleen will just send the thing to the planning board saying that the Board of Health has no comment, no issues.
Oh. No issues, okay.
So what do we, as we look through here, I am going to make an attempt this week to get our air samplers delivered. That Andrew Parker asked me, he says, we're actually anxious to get those things in. I can get them to Chris Martin, the 2 schools, McDuffie, that's 4, but I don't know how we're gonna do Fence Hill, and I don't know how we're gonna do out at New Ludlow Road by the old lanes.
Dick, is it real-time reporting via internet with an Ethernet cable or is it self-contained?
It is, not with an Ethernet cable. It has to be Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's a Wi-Fi. Okay. So it's got to have a power supply then.
Yeah,
and,
it's
it'll
got,
transmit.
yeah, it's got a little, actually, it's smaller than the one that your laptop would be, the
Okay.
power supply.
Okay.
And
Because
it's
again,
supposedly waterproof and,
yeah, because all the weather sites, Weather Underground and windy.com, all the big weather sites have PM 2.5 monitoring data live.
yeah,
You can, and this would just be
And
some
that's
more
what
data
this-
points for that. That would be great.
yeah. So I'll attempt to do that.
Very good.
The guys that I saw little bit of actually before Greg left us, talking about as-built for Dollar General. Did anything ever happen to the request for?
In fact, I owe Tyler an email. He was asking if we found the as-built. I talk to Greg all the time. Apparently no as-built were produced. So that means when they start doing, or if they've already done their investigative work, they've got a fair amount of work to do if there's no as-built.
Yeah, I guess, and we all ought to remember that I didn't see any drawings. I never saw any drawings for that land drain, that French drain that they
Oh yeah,
put
that
in
French drain
upslope
that was
of
put
the
yeah, that was
leach
put
field.
in after the fact. That was put in after the fact during construction.
And that definitely goes into the siltation
Right.
basin.
Yeah. Yeah. If they had directed it to the south down by the wetland out the back, they probably would have been fine. But bringing it to that north
Yeah.
basin was not the thing to do.
No. Okay, Bill, I am going to ask you a question. When you brought up, it's not Board of Health issue, but you brought up solar. When I drive on going into Ludlow, look at the big system that MWIC put in. That's what is the name of the street? If you're going down West Street in Ludlow and take a left going to Randall's.
Oh, that's Fuller Street. Fuller Street. Yes.
As you go down to the bottom of the hill on Fuller Street, there's a big, it looked to me like it's in the 8 megawatt, 10 megawatt kind
It
of
is. It is.
farm.
That's a humongous system. That's an extremely large system.
The question I have is on the, I'll say the south end of it, is half of the panels are aimed to the northeast. And I have no idea why you would have panels aimed that it looks like half are southwest and half are northeast. And I just can't imagine what kind of energy they're getting out of panels aimed to the northeast.
No, Dick, did you look carefully? Are some of the panels on single axis rotators? Do you know?
Can't guarantee you that. I didn't drive in.
Okay, because here's the situation at La Flamme's. No, at La Flamme's, Dick, down the street here from me, about 20% of the system are on single axis rotators. And the reason they do that is National Grid or Eversource has a peak power limit for these systems. And the issue is, if they, at local noontime at the zenith, if they hit peak power and the peak power is greater than the lines could take, they could overheat the lines. So what they do is
they actually are dumping.
Yeah, so they play games with these rotators to keep the peak power down, yet have the same energy, because at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, they're much more efficient. So they take their curve, instead of looking like a V, they flatten the curve out, because the key thing for the power company is you don't want to overheat the transmission lines by pumping too many amps down the system.
Okay.
So it has to do with peak power capacity.
So I'd have to look to see if maybe the times that I'm driving by are when these things are all aimed in the wrong direction.
It turns out in the summer, sunrise is at the northeast. Right now, sunrise is at the southeast, and vice versa on the west. Right. So yeah, in the morning in the summer, if you want to catch sunrise in the summer, you have to actually beam the things northeasterly. But it has to do with the peak power requirement from the power company.
Sure.
But I'll tell you, it's an interesting science. It really is. You know, one thing in closing, Dick, on the energy end, I was thinking seriously of getting an electric car, but I've been reading all these stories about these Tesla battery cars burning up to the ground, into the pavement. They get so darn hot. And I'm convinced fuel cell is the way to go. The hydrogen fuel cell is going to be much more successful than these battery cars. I'm convinced of that now.
Well, we'll see, because boy, the industry is definitely saying batteries are where you're going.
I know.
And I'm reading stuff about the lack of reliability, and people actually saying, I'm hearing engineering reports that said, oh, don't worry, we knew these were going to be new and they're going to be a terrible reliability problem. And don't worry, in another 10 years, they're going to be okay. So I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I never liked the whole concept of batteries. It's just, it didn't, again, a battery in a Tesla S, I think, is rated at 100 kilowatt hours. Think about it, 100 kilowatt hours. You know, our houses might expend that in 3 days in the summertime with the air conditioner running. Think about discharging 100 kilowatt hours worth of energy in a 5-minute fire.
Yeah.
So the heating potential is enormous with these batteries. Got to be very, very, very careful with these things.
And I actually watched the making, and it was Tesla's batteries. And when you look at a big battery and you say, oh, this is a big battery. Like you look at your starting battery, but in reality, the whole bottom of your car is filled with these batteries that are about 1.5 inches in diameter and about 6 inches tall. So if you think there are hundreds and hundreds of them inside your car battery, and say, gee, if any one of those things fail.
That's right, Dick. I'll send you the article. There's an article that came out yesterday that said exactly that. If one battery catches fire and fails, the whole thing goes up it's like a nuclear reaction. It's a terrible system from a reliability point of view. It really is.
Yeah. So,
Well, they just had that, they just had that
anyways.
fire in that boat coming from Germany. There was 4,000 Porsches, Maseratis, Volkswagens, and maybe 20 odd, 18 odd floors down. One of these electric vehicles shorted out, and they couldn't get down there to put the fire out, and the boat eventually sank with all these cars brand new.
Wow.
The other issue,
Wow.
the other issue too is that the Department of Transportation only has a very, very few number of dealers in New England that are licensed to work on these things. These are
Supposedly with
dangerous.
Tesla, Lee, they'll come to your house. If you buy a Tesla and there's a problem, they'll send a technician to your house, supposedly.
Well,
Out of Boston, yeah.
Yeah.
well,
It's not ready yet.
anyways, you answered my question.
Very
So
good.
are we done for tonight?
I think so. Dick, are you seriously thinking of putting solar up if you could get permission to take those
No,
trees down?
I've got one. It's interesting though that the Kestrel Society is the one that owns the property to the south of me, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they would contemplate giving me a window that they'd let me cut down the trees.
Dick, you know, one thing they have done, and they did this up on Chicopee Street, they did a land swap with somebody. There's a fellow on Chicopee Street that put his solar array inadvertently on Kestrel land. So Kestrel gave this gentleman the land, and the gentleman gave Kestrel some other land that he owned in kind. So you could actually do an in-kind swap with Kestrel, possibly.
Interesting. That's interesting. Because it's certainly not the kind of activity that the Kestrel Society would be against. You know, if they don't lose any property, and then their property that they're giving away is to cut down on emissions, they might be willing to do that. It also is interesting, and I don't know how much it would help me, is that there is a power easement that goes down next to my house
Mm-hmm.
too. And
Yeah.
whether the power company would allow the trees to be cut in there.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sure if I look at it and say, am I going to be around long enough to get the money back? But if you also look at what's happening, is that I just read about the energy group that the state formed, and they've got a strategic plan to get everybody off of fossil fuel, that they want us all to switch over to the heat pumps. So they're to the point that they're going to make it so you can't buy any fossil burning devices anymore.
Wow.
There was a
Yeah.
full-page ad about a
So it's
company in Germany making heat pumps. They can't make them quick enough in the New York Times.
well, I can see that you've got a government plan that says you're going to have to switch over. So if you end up having to switch to electricity for power, then the other half of this thing is you ought to be generating electricity.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
National Grid
Anyway.
at 48 cents a kilowatt hour, they put us in a good pickle. I'll tell you that right now.
yeah. What
And again, I've
percentage of
banked a
your
lot.
power?
I've banked a lot, Dick, with my system, but normally what I bank in the summer carries me through the entire winter. So my net bill for the year is zero. This year, I'm gonna burn through my banked funds probably by the middle or end of January this year.
So they're not letting you bank kilowatt hours. They're making you bank dollars.
That's right. What they did is they paid me 23 cents a kilowatt hour for all the stuff I banked this summer, and now I'm burning it at 48 cents a kilowatt hour. So it's costing
Yeah.
me 25 cents a kilowatt hour right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they had allowed me to bank the kilowatt hours. That would have been great, but no, they give me cash in kind, and now we're all in trouble.
Okay. Are we done for tonight?
That's it. Thank you, guys. Enjoyable
Okay,
meeting as always. Colleen, thank you.
Everybody,
Lee,
have a
Dick,
nice night. Okay. bye.
thanks, guys.
Good night.